We're live this morning at Knowsley Safari with a world first exclusive. Meet sleeping Amara there. We're going to tell you about a team of surgeons who managed to fix the broken leg of this 126 stone rhino.
Because there's a rhinoceros that I'm watching fairly closely, which just
rhino.
appearing on and I saw a baby one as well, by the way.
Ooh, looking forward to that.
It'll make sense in a second. When 2-year-old rhino Amara broke her leg earlier this year, her keepers were unsure how to help her, so they called in a team of specialist surgeons to perform a world-first operation.
And that is where we are taking you to Knowsley Safari, where Jane McCubbin is. Now, Jane, you get to be in the company of a couple of rhinos, and I'm assuming the smaller one. Well, I'll leave it to you to tell us what we're just seeing there.
Do you know they say, Naga, never work with children and animals,
yes.
Right? So who knew rhinos normally sleep in until about noon? I didn't know that. We didn't know that when we got this exclusive. So literally we've spent the last 45 minutes saying to Amara, that sweet little rhino over there, can you please wake up? You've got your TV debut at 6:50. Anyway, here she is now, just gently coming out of the enclosure. And her story is remarkable. She's nearly 2 years old. She already weighs 126 stone. She's a big girl. And when the zookeepers here knew that she wasn't weight bearing, that was a problem because there was a lot of weight to bear. The problem was a bone. If you imagine she had a wrist, she doesn't have a wrist, but the wrist bone there had broken. And in situations like this, the experts, look around the world and look to the books and say, how has this been treated anywhere else in the world? And it had never been treated before. Have a look at this film from Will Vernon now with this remarkable story, because as you can see, she's back on 4 legs again. Brilliant news.
How many vets does it take to fix a baby rhino's leg? The answer is 10. Over 5 hours, a team of surgeons, zookeepers and equine specialists performed keyhole surgery on Amara, the southern white rhino, thought to be the first operation of its kind in the world. Staff at Knowsley Safari first noticed Amara was limping earlier this year. Tests confirmed she was suffering from a broken leg. But the team couldn't find records anywhere in the world for this type of leg injury. So, for the purposes of treatment, Amara was turned into a horse. Specialists from the University of Liverpool used surgical methods normally intended for horses. After the operation, a leg cast was applied. The expert team weren't sure the procedure would work. Nothing like this had ever been tried before. But several weeks later, Amara's cast was removed, and the baby white rhino was reunited with mum, Meru. Miraculously, Amara made a complete recovery. She's now fighting fit to enjoy the finer things in life, like munching on sticks. Will Vernon, BBC News.
Right, let me introduce Lindsay Banks now. Lindsay, what's just happened?
Amara's been typically Amara and she's gone back to bed.
She's gone back to bed. She's gone back to bed. When you say typically Amara, tell us what her personality is like and why you are not surprised she got into this scrape.
See, Amara's an incredible animal. She's got such a sweet personality. She's a firm favourite with a lot of the keepers here. But she's into everything. She's always been into everything. She's quite playful, quite boisterous individual, chasing things and always exploring things. So I'm not surprised that she's got herself into this kind of predicament.
She had a tussle.
I think she did. I think she likes to play heavily with Kiva, one of the adult females here. They've got quite a nice relationship.
This is an opportunity then, isn't it, to just take a look around here and see some of the other rhinos here at Knowsley Safari that she would be playing with normally. Yep. She'd got into a tussle, she'd had this incident, and you notice she couldn't bear her weight properly. The procedure sounds incredible. Tell me how she coped with that, and tell me how her mum, Meru, coped with that, because she must have been concerned.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing for a young rhino to suddenly, that likes being out and about and exploring, to suddenly that we've got to perform operations on her, she's got to have box rest, so we've got to minimise her exercise. But throughout the whole process, her mum's been part of it. So Maru's always been there with her as a reassurance and a comfort to her. But we've also got to help Maru through the same scenario as well. So when Amara's sedated and she's in the hands of the vets, I can't do anything for Amara at that point, but I can do something for her mum, Maru. So it's a case of reassuring her and keeping her.
How do you do that though? Well, I've seen it actually in action this morning, but talk me through what you did for 4 hours with Maru.
So throughout the process, me and another keeper, literally we spoke calmly to her, we were stroking her face, rubbing her belly, everything just to keep her relaxed.
Here she is now with her mum. So you literally, you were tickling her, stroking mum,
yep.
just trying to say everything is fine.
Yep, keep her calm.
She was calling out to her, wasn't she, through
yep.
the operation? What noises would she make through that?
They kind of make a chuffing noise, so as they call into just a contact call, just to reassure her that she's still there. And as long as she can see Amara, she's normally okay. It's when she can't see her that she gets a little bit upset by stuff.
She is taking the time, isn't it? You can see there every now and again she'll lift that problem leg up just to give it a little rest.
Yep.
But it's really important, isn't it, that you were able to help her, because these are threatened species, aren't they?
Yep, these guys are still heavily poached out in Africa. So it's really important they're part of a European-wide breeding programme.
Yeah.
So it's important that Amara can contribute to that programme, and that we need to do everything we can for her as an individual as well.
Yeah.
You know, she's an animal we care deeply about, and we want to make sure she's happy and healthy.
Well, we've almost run out of time, which is probably a good thing, because what you can see there is Mum and Amara heading to the toilet. So right on cue. I think I'll hand back to you, but join us later because we're going to see lots more of them and have more chats later in the programme. Back to you guys.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Nature at its finest. That's what I reckon. Wonderful, marvellous. Amara and Mum.
Isn't it?
They know how to put on a show, don't they?
What a way to sign off.